So is there anything in your mind?
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like every time we do an episode, I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
But it always ends up somewhat
It always
good.
ends up somewhere. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you always have something, and I feel like I'm just like. See, this is the thing. Like, I feel like you were pushing for the podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm there to support you, and I'm down to do it. But it was like something that like I wasn't making too much energy for.
Yeah.
So then I just didn't have, like, I didn't think about a lot, you know, but I was like,
Right.
I'll be there.
Dude, it's funny how those things work out because I'm on my lane, right, in my own energy, just doing different things, and you all of a sudden throw something completely new into my life, right? And dude, it's crazy how much we actually, trust and respect each other and want to work together, because it's so strange to me how, you throw something at me and like I do it, right? Or I like give my energy to it, or I do the same thing and you do it too. Like this, you found a way to arrange your day or to just give it the time to, sit here and do the podcast. Like, for example, with the Corvette, right? The opportunity that I literally told you, dude, my energy is not there, but take the lead.
So it wasn't there at all?
No, it wasn't
like
there
you were
at all.
not thinking about it at all?
No, I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah, that is the crazy part, because I was like, I did start thinking about it, obviously, which is why I kind of brought it back up. But
Yeah.
I was kind of like, he has to be thinking about it too, you know?
Well, I was just happy to have it, and
I just feel like you don't drive it as much. We should
Yeah.
definitely go on a drive after this, bro. Would you be down?
with the top down.
Down, dude.
Down.
All right, so I was just telling Isaac that because I've been in, like, obviously I drive the vet a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I just, obviously you get used to it, and I'm probably not even looking at people anymore, but I didn't feel like I was getting the energy from people like when, we would rent it, or
Yeah.
when we had it those first couple of days. But dude, yesterday, I'm telling you, I took top down, guys, and everybody was looking, bro.
Really?
Everybody was fucking looking, bro. Yes.
Dude, that's crazy. I love having the top down, but you're right. I haven't been driving it as much, even though I just haven't been going out as much. And when right now the Tacoma is in the shop, we've been down one car out of the 3
For a very long time.
Yeah, that's strange. But yeah, I feel like we have some good stuff to talk about. Obviously, something crazy and big happened not too long ago. But I just want to welcome everyone to the pod. This is the 11th episode.
11th?
Yeah, 11th
Really?
epised, yeah. Last one was the 10th.
And because remember you said once we make 10? That was the last one?
Yeah, that was the 10th one. Because I was even like, I talked about it, how it was our 10th one, and you mentioning that we would think about the name. And
I just thought we had done one already after that.
No, I'm pretty sure that was the 10th one, the 10th episode. But 11th episode, we're trying our best to stay consistent. As Max said, I have to really push to make this happen, but obviously Max makes the time as well. And yeah, like I said, I feel like we have a lot to talk about. Always something comes up. There's always something going on in our lives, in our businesses, and future plans. And I also want to take the opportunity to just talk to Max about projects, future developments. I usually use this time too to just like talk, because we don't get much time to talk and just sit down and chat it up. So yeah, welcome to the pod. And dude, I'm happy to be able to make this time to sit with you. Just want you to know that I appreciate like the link up, and because I know you're pretty busy too.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the positive energy. I think one of the things that kind of popped into my head real quick was when you were talking about that trust and how we trust each other. I think it was a situation like early in Austin, like 1 month in, we had just moved in, and I was still very like, like I knew you, but like I was like, now we're trying to build something, and it's like money was starting to get involved and stuff like that, and I was very much like I need to see that I trust this guy, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times people think about trust like a transactional thing, Like if you do something for me, then
Yeah.
I'll do something for you. And I think like that's the like when I realized that it was different. I forget like exactly what it was, but I remember that you just displayed your trust in me without like I didn't feel like you were trying to get something back. I just felt like you were genuinely like putting your trust in me.
Yeah.
Like it was just an action that you did that I feel like it would have been one of those actions that I didn't expect, you know, unless you trusted me, right?
Yeah.
And so I just feel like once like ever since I saw that, this was early on too. When I had moved in with you, I'm telling you, it was probably like a month, maybe 2 months in. And after I saw that action, I was just like, oh, like he's just trusting me without like time needing to go by.
Right.
Maybe that was just naive you too, just trusting.
Well, here's the thing. I just felt like I don't know. I felt like we had a pretty good relationship prior to me moving to Texas because we were spending a lot of time together, just thinking about how to open a business. You know, we were working on the indoor soccer and just trying to put that together and spending evenings just working on the computer and stuff. So I don't know. I felt like, and then obviously playing soccer together, I felt like I trusted you already. And moving in, like it was something new to me, but I don't know. I just felt like I trusted you.
Yeah.
And then we were talking so deep sometimes, bro. You know, when I was in Texas and we were going through the program and just our plans. And I don't know, bro. I just felt like, you know, I don't talk like that to many people. So to me, it was just the trust was already there. But I guess when you involve money and all these things, it was little. So
yeah,
at the beginning.
And it's always like, I don't know, it's just like that inner chatter too that sometimes gets to you, you know?
Yeah.
That's like, cause like you get fucked over in the past. Cause I'm sure you've been in situations and we've been in situations together where it's like someone says a word and you know they don't keep it.
Right.
You know, and so that's where like the trust kind of just like
yeah, it doesn't
fades and like it's hard because then it's like, oh well, is this person really, you know?
Yeah, that's the part that sucks, dude, when people expect, and it's tough. I get it. I get why people do that, but I just think that the most powerful thing you can do is to give trust before trust is given to you. But it's tough because people have gotten fucked up in the past, and that prevents you start to build those blocks.
And obviously with the understanding that you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position, right?
Yeah.
To like trust someone without like,
right. Yeah, dude, you gotta be careful who you trust, honestly,
because you obviously don't do it with everybody, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You try to like vibe the person, like you said, like obviously we had already a relationship built.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it made sense. But yeah, like, you know, there's sometimes some people that we meet for the first time and you kind of catch off their energy and you see that they're pretty incongruent. So obviously someone like them, you're probably not going to trust all the way, huh?
Right. No, for sure, bro. So, dude, I guess I don't know if you want to jump straight into it, but I know our previous episode.
I know that's one thing that I'm like definitely, I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense.
I just don't want to leave it to the end and have very limited time or feel like I'm trying to squeeze it in.
Right.
Because I feel like it's the potatoes of the episode. But as you guys remembered, we launched RIBB Manhattan Beach, our second location. RIBB Bikes, our second location in the city of Manhattan Beach, which is like 30 minutes away from here. We were there for a good month and like a week or 2 weeks. And we mentioned in the previous episode, but it was a constant battle with the city and every department there is. Code enforcement, parking, cops, mayor came out. And we just, I don't know, I didn't think that the worst case scenario was going to happen, which in this case was them completely removing our business license, because at that point, you know, there's not much that we can do from what it seems like. But I didn't think it was going to get there. Unfortunately, it got there. And the way that it happened, it was so, I kind of want to walk them through like what happened. It was so just not professional, so unfair. And it was a Thursday before the big weekend, dude. The Super Bowl, as you called it for us, as you coined it, for our bike shops. Obviously, all the tourism, people trying to have fun, they go to the beach.
Everybody
4th
goes
of
to the
July
beach.
weekend is the biggest weekend in terms of, you know, how much money we make on that weekend. And it was such a juicy weekend because 4th of July fell on Tuesday. So people were going to have Monday off, Tuesday off, and possibly maybe even Wednesday off.
And the energy just carries, you know? So
yeah,
it's
and it's just the momentum just carries over. So we were super excited for that. And I mean, I remember we were trying to piece all the schedules together for this massive weekend with 3 locations, short on staff, literally putting everything on the line to make this happen. And I wake up and, dude, immediately I see an email from this guy. I didn't know who he was until then. Steve. His name is Steve, and from the city of Manhattan Beach. And it's an official letter just saying, hey, Mr. Isaac Huerta de la Vega, I want to inform you that we have decided to nullify your business license. And you were acting in a disorderly manner, threatening the community's health, safety, and welfare, blah, 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 blah. Signed, Mr. Trellian. And, dude, I just remember I was like, okay, calm down. There has to be a solution, and this cannot happen like this. So immediately I go to the municipal code, right? And I hit you up and I start researching it just seemed to me so unfair that the city can just do that, nullify a business license, and effective immediately. That's the part that I forgot to say. Effective immediately. So when I'm researching the municipal code, it says revocation and suspension. That's the title of the section. And it says the holder of the business permit needs to be notified 5 days ahead of time, and they need to be heard in the city hall to pretty much just explain themselves, right? And find a possible solution so that you can operate. And dude, immediately I'm like, bro, it says right there, like we weren't even notified. We weren't even given an opportunity to be heard. So I call Steve. And dude, this conversation, to not make it long, this conversation goes for like an hour.
Was it an hour?
Yeah, because it was like 40 minutes what I sent
like
you, but
40.
I was talking for a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes before I recorded the conversation. But long story short, I got him to give us a meeting at the end of the call, but he was very strict on, we're nullifying your business license, and we can dive deeper into the details and all that stuff. But yeah, bro, I don't know. To me, when I heard that story, I was just part of me was upset at the fact that they did it like that. But also part of me was, I'm just at a point where I just trust in God and in his plan and how everything is supposed to unfold. I'm okay with things that I was just like, okay, let's just go through this now. Right. So I hit you up, and how did you take that, the news?
Yeah. When I woke up that morning, I was just kind of like I said, for me, I like to think about the worst case scenarios, and I was already, so the last day that we were open was that weekend prior, and I remember that they came to bother me. They started telling me, hey, you don't fit in the space. I try to win them over, and I kind of won them over. But there was this one lady who was being pretty strict. But I was able to just kind of like play them off, just like we had played everybody off, how we played everybody else off. But one of the cops said that if we did get too many tickets, that they could remove our business license. And I do feel like that was kind of, because they did mention how they started receiving the notifications that we were getting cited and all these things. So I wonder if that was around the same time or if they had already been notified from the beginning. So that energy had already been like passed down to me of like, hey, your business license could get removed because you're getting too many citations and stuff. So it was something that I was already kind of contemplating, and I'm like, I guess it could happen, you know. So yeah, I don't know. When you told me, I was like, okay, so here's the thing on my end. Operating, like you said, doing the schedule for the 3 businesses. I mean, it was those 2-3 weeks that we were operating the 3 locations. It was a fucking like mission, bro. Like
Yeah.
I was pushing to levels. I mean, the last weekend where again I operated, it was a Friday. I did it by myself, and then the next day, I was gonna go again to Manhattan Beach and do it. And I had a potential employee gonna come and help. He canceled, and I told Isaac, I was like, bro, I can't do it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna break. Like I'm gonna get injured. My back's gonna come out. Like some shit's gonna happen because just mentally the amount of energy that it took, and again dealing with the city, it was just like so exhausting mentally, like having to deal with them, you know. They come at you, or you know, they come at Isaac tells me. So it was just draining me a lot, like both like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It was just draining me in all areas. Obviously the money was like there, so that's why like I was pushing and pushing and pushing. And obviously we were trying to figure everything out, and I knew that it was just a period where I had to push. But when he said that, I was just so drained, and so understanding that, all right, well, this is the obstacle that, you know, just like all the other things, I was like, another obstacle.
Yeah.
Let's just get through this, you know.
RIBB.
Let me take it.
Yeah.
Bike and e-bike rentals.
Another live phone call, guys. RIBB Baby Bikes, how can I help you?
Hey, I'm calling from Shutters Hotel, just around the corner from you.
Yeah.
Do your e-bikes that you rent out, are they all pedal assisted, or do you have any that are just throttle only?
Yeah, they have both options. They're pedal assist, and they're also throttle. You can use both.
Okay, so if they want to just ride without pedaling, you can
Exactly.
just use the throttle?
Exactly.
Amazing. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Take care.
I could have asked for more details there, but yeah. So yeah, I was drained, and so you told me that, and I was like, all right, let's figure it out. And dude, like honestly, I'm just like unbothered by like sometimes situations like that now. Like, you know, we went through the Corvette. Like that was a big one that, you know, I feel like we've been tested in many levels.
Mm-hmm.
That in a way I'm just like, all right, well, that's just what it is. Let's deal with it, you know?
Right.
I don't get like super down. Obviously, I do feel it, and I do get frustrated when I do feel like it's unfair. And like you mentioned, I do feel like we got an unfair treatment. So that I do get frustrated. But, you know, if it's, you know, especially with the type of business that RIBB is, it's like, well, I mean, if it's not possible, then it's just not possible, you know? Like, if we can't operate because of rules and stuff, then it's like, it makes sense, you know? And
Yeah.
that's just what it is. But, yeah, it just feels like they were pretty unfair in what they did.
Yeah, bro. I do feel like mainly I did not like the way that they went about nullifying our business license without giving us a chance to be heard. And ultimately, at the end of the day, like Max said, we were being cited because we couldn't, in Santa Monica, there's no rule to have to move out of this spot after a certain time where we park the truck. But in Manhattan Beach, the meters say you have to move after 2 hours. So we were just like, fine, we'll take the citation, right? We'll pay the $50-something for every citation. and that's it, right? But again, the laws do say, their code does say that it can be revoked after many, citations. So I get it, but just the way that they went about doing it was not fair in our eyes. And after the call, like I said, I did get him to give us a meeting, and it happened 2 days ago on Wednesday. We went to the city hall, and obviously Max and I prepared for the meeting. We listened to Chris Voss, negotiation master, and I don't know, bro. I was pretty confident that we were going to be able to do something.
Yeah.
And
I was confident too.
Yeah, I felt pretty good, bro. I mean,
here's what threw me off. These fuckers were cowards, bro. That's what I felt at the end of the day. I felt like all those fuckers inside were fucking pussies, bro. I don't know. Maybe bleep that shit out. But, dude, I just was surprised that I could see in their eyes that they were scared, bro.
Yeah.
I could just see. I'm like, what the fuck are you scared about? You're only scared if you did something wrong.
Yeah.
So that's where I was frustrated, and it was hard to do anything. And also because their energy was just that of, I'm not here to do anything but enforce what I was told to follow, to say, to do. And so that's what I think just made it pretty complicated. Could we have gotten more? We could have maybe gotten more, maybe not the whole thing, like the whole pie, the whole win, but we could have gotten maybe a small win that led us. But it was a tough one, man.
Yeah, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that it was just the guy who I was speaking to via email and Mr. Chirellian, he wasn't there, Yeah. And when I saw that he wasn't there, and they said, "Oh, Mr. Chirellian is not able to be here,"
and he didn't even say anything
and
either,
he didn't
right?
even say anything. To me, it was just, that was like the first indication to me that they weren't really trying to solve anything. They were just like, "Look, guys, just give them a meeting, let them be heard. At the end of the day, just use the same one." And I forgot to mention this, but the main thing too is that they started to look into us because we got the citation.
I mean, this is the main problem, yeah.
And figured out that the business license was granted in error.
And which is why, it was nullified.
Yeah. And which is BS, because time and time again, they kept saying, you guys are under catering category. You guys are good to go. And then, someone inside did not like our operation. They're scared of commercializing their beach and displaying it as a touristic attraction. They want to keep the beach to themselves. And I don't know if the businesses in downtown had some type of influence, and they're like, no, we don't want to share.
But even that's kind of stupid, because we know that it's a very small community of 30,000 people.
Right.
I mean, if you just allowed those 30,000 people, everybody would be worse off, Yeah. The city. I mean, because who's parking in all these places, If it's people that live there, then they live there, right?
Yeah.
The businesses, I mean, they want more business, right? So for them to just rely on the 30,000 people that live there, all 30,000 people aren't just staying there the whole time, they're going to other places too. So you're really, for you to just say that you're not really trying to be a touristic city or whatever, I mean, I just kind of find that BS, because you're not going to be as well off as they are if you're not like that, Yeah, I just kind of find that a little bit BS. So we were placed in the wrong category, guys. And one of the things that I told Isaac was, it's crazy how, especially in California, some man, some woman can decide to be labeled as the opposite sex. Could be labeled as a fucking tree if they wanted to. but we
That's a
can't.
fish.
We can't label ourselves as a dude. It's just like literally so stupid, bro. Like when
Yeah.
you just say it out loud, it pisses me off that literally people in government fight for rights for someone else to be called something else, but our bike truck can't be labeled a food truck, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's the whole argument, guys, that at first they said, all right, you guys are going to be a food truck because we don't have like a category for bike rentals. Dude, and then I asked them, really no one else has applied as a vehicle vendor that's, you know, that isn't a food truck? They said no. Found that kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm like, well, just fucking fit us into the food truck. And that's where I'm just like, what really frustrates me, and this is what I go back to that I really liked in Mexico, bro, that there was this like understanding of like of communication of human to human.
Yeah.
Like I feel you. I understand you. I want to get somewhere with you. I literally felt like I was talking to fucking robots, bro.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like you just talked to robots here?
Yeah, they just had their agenda and were not trying to cooperate at all. I mean, when I was talking to Mr. Chirelian on the phone, he was all about, oh, I'm all for innovation and I've been doing this for a long time and we support our business owners. And to me, that doesn't, the way that they behaved in that room is nothing close to innovation. It's nothing close to, okay, let's figure out what we can do, because from the looks of it and from what you guys are telling us, this seems like something that the city benefits from. We brought our reviews from customers that reviewed us when we were operating. I brought stories from people who I had conversations with, and they all really enjoyed that a small business was there and was operating and provided a good service. And they were just not in the mindset of, okay, this is beneficial. Let's see what we can do.
Nothing, bro.
Like, okay, guys, look, this is what we can do. I'll set up meetings with you guys with the right representatives so that we can pass this along. Nothing, bro. And what pissed me off the most is that we incurred various expenses to be able to open this location. We bought brand new inventory, as well as the time it took to hire people. We made payments to employees who were working there. And ultimately, I'm like, all right, cool. If we're not going to be categorized as a catering, you guys need to be held responsible for what we spend, for the time, and the
Dude,
treatment.
they didn't even apologize.
And I said it. I remember I was like, and you guys none of you have apologized like at all, and they still didn't, bro. No one said. Only the Asian girl to your right said, look, I feel for you, there's compassion here, but not once did they say, look, I'm sorry that this happened, how can we make it right?
That's
were
what I'm
just
saying,
so
bro,
hard-headed.
they literally have no fucking emotions, bro. They're literally just like robots. There was like no connection, and when there's no connection, it's just really hard. And like, I don't know, we could have done a better job making a connection. But yeah, bro, when you're just talking to individuals, kind of like when we went to go eat at that same day after we went to go eat at the barbecue place, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, I'd like a water, no ice. You get a water with ice. It's like you're talking to a robot.
Yeah.
Because it's like I was obviously not heard.
Right.
So who the fuck am I talking to if there's like not a conscious right there that's listening to me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty frustrating, and people in that room were, I don't know, bro. As a city, you should conduct yourself in a manner that makes you want to attract the best people, right? The best entrepreneurs, the best citizens, and that will benefit your city. But in this case, that's why the plan is I want to reach out to media outlets in the city of Manhattan Beach and put this story out there so that they can feel it, so that they're like, oh shit, this story does not look good. Let me talk to them again. Let me see what we can do. I doubt that they'll do something. No, I'm going to follow up. But yeah, I'm going to follow up because I do want this story to be shared, because honestly, I do feel like we have a story, and at least I would want them to be held accountable. And we had, loss of revenue. We spent a lot of money on inventory, and it just was not
And
fair.
they skipped, and again, they skipped their code. Did you make clear how they skipped their code? Yeah.
I think so, but
yeah. But yeah, basically they were supposed to follow their process, and again, they nullified it. You did explain that, and so that's where it does feel like unjust.
I will say that they used the word very tactically, nullifying the business license instead of revoking it, because the code says when a business license is revoked, that's when you have to follow the code. But in this case, they kept saying, oh, it's because it wasn't revoked, it was nullified, which it's freaking BS, bro.
And it's also stupid because I told them, well, where's your code if you guys like, where's the code for nullifying?
Oh, it happens rarely.
Yeah, and then they were like, oh, it happens rarely, and I'm like, well, and I even brought up like, well, yeah, but you still need to have it in there. You want to protect yourself. And then that one lady was like, let me give you an example. In our department, if someone makes an error, we have the protection too to say, hey, you know what? We made a mistake. We're going to do this. And it's like, bro, and one of the things that I was trying to get them to understand is like, all right, yeah, everybody makes a mistake, but there's consequences to those mistakes.
Yeah.
If I think I said this in the meeting, but I was like, if someone drives under the influence right now and gets pulled over by a cop, and he says, hey, I made a mistake, he's still going to have to pay the consequence. Right. And so that's where we feel like it was very unjust because, again, guys, you guys have to understand where we're coming from, which is you guys told us, hey, we're going to place you in the food vending category because of the size of your vehicle. You guys literally told us that. You guys gave us a business license. So what does that do to us? It makes us think we can be out there, right? We can operate. We can do business. And all this time goes by and this and that. We operated, like you said, a month. And then you finally tell us, like, no, it was an accident. Like, that's all right. You got to own up to your fucking mistake because we invested all this money and time and energy. And now, and like I said, okay, you guys made the mistake. You guys can't just remove it. You guys have to go through your code. But again, then they use their mistake as a way to justify them not going through their code. And it's just like, the whole thing's pretty BS, bro.
Yeah, I think that.
I brought up my cup and I'm drinking.
Yeah, I think that we're definitely going to be taking action moving forward. Probably going to sue them. Well, like if there's a case, bro, and you're working with the attorney, we're trying to. Dude, didn't we have the call today?
Yeah, but they didn't respond. Remember? Because that was the lady, that was the girl who told me that since it was under 10,000, and I responded and she didn't respond.
Whack.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to get in touch with an attorney to see if we have a case. And I'm reaching out to local media outlets in Manhattan Beach, to just put the story out there and see if there's anything that we can do. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't want to invest too much energy into this either, but I do want them to be held accountable and for them to learn a lesson that you just don't fuck with a small business. They think that they can just run over us, do as they please, that we won't do anything, that they're the big dogs, and that is just not correct, bro. I think that we have rights as business owners too, and if you make a mistake, okay, cool. If the code doesn't state that we're allowed to operate, cool, but at least can you own up to your mistakes and make them right? Apparently they can't. So now we have to involve the law to see and create noise so that they feel the pressure. And trust me, we will.
Yeah. I just really want to. It's just, I really want to get to the bottom of it. And it seems like if we do, get to the bottom of it, at the end of the day, they're like, well, yeah, we made a mistake, but you still can't operate out here. But then the next level is just like, well, this is where I just get frustrated because it's like, well, why don't you give us the opportunity to come and show you how it's done, and you tell us where you feel like there could be issues and this and that. It's like they don't even want to take the time to see it. They're just like, here's my code, here's my code, here's my code, here's my code. And that's the part that, again, is just frustrating, because it's like, yes, I understand that there's a code and that it needs to be followed and all this and that, but I'm just like, I feel like there's, I don't know. I mean, if you're lean with a small thing, then that could end up into something bigger. But I am just kind of like, you want to be flexible, I feel like, in some areas, and something like that. Again, you try to take the situation into account, right? You're like bike rentals, but I understand that maybe it could lead on to more things and blah, blah. But
it's a good service, dude, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And they could benefit from having us there. But yeah, they're not wanting to give a single ounce of energy to this.
Yeah.
But we'll keep trying. And, with that being said, it sucks. It's very unfortunate. But like Max said, I think that we've gotten so used to just dealing with these things. And dude, you know what happens? That sometimes I'm with people, like, for example, Dara, right? And something crazy happens in my life, and I'm just like, she gets so worried and doesn't want me to deal with it. And to me, it's just like so normal, because we've experienced high levels of stress, that being with those people is just sometimes not even helpful, because they haven't experienced those levels of stress. But yeah, the truth is that, we go through these things very consistently operating our businesses, that when we heard the news, I mean, I think we both had the same feeling, that it was just, we had the mindset of, okay, let's just go through it and see what's at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, bro, it's very unfortunate. We were doing so well. We had an amazing location.
I got so many calls while we were closed. Like, I remember 4th of July weekend, I got so many calls. we got a bad review towards the end, because this lady, guys, called me 6 times, guys, and I was at the gym. I'm trying to be focused at the gym, and this lady just. And I'm like, bro, who calls 6 times, bro? Like,
right,
for anything, bro. Like, if you're calling 6 times for anything, you're going to be a little bit pissed on the other end,
Right.
And for her to just be like, oh, yeah, he was rude. Well, no wonder, bitch. You called me 6 times.
And the fucking listing says temporarily
Well, that was the
closed.
thing, that it didn't. It didn't? Well, remember I told you it didn't.
Oh, you took it off?
No, it just switched back.
That's whack.
But I thought the listing said temporarily closed, so that's why I was even more frustrated. But here's the thing. I changed it to temporarily closed after that, because I was like, I looked at it, and it said we were open, and so I go to temporarily closed, and I still get calls.
Yeah, we got to the point where
I'm like, this bitch was gonna call 6 times no matter what.
Dude, the desperation. But I don't know, bro. We, lessons learned. At the end of the day.
And what I was telling people that are close to me was like, at the end of the day, I'm glad that we gave it a shot.
Yeah.
And that we tried, and we tried in Redondo, we tried now in Manhattan Beach, and we're just figuring it out, right? But I prefer that over just like, never have given it a shot and then going away like, fuck. What if we did expand to Redondo? What if we did expand to Manhattan? Like, now we know, right. Now we know the answer. It's like, yeah, bro, like, if you go try it over there, you're not enough traffic. You go over here, the city's going to be at you, and you can't really do it. So,
dude, and we'll know exactly what to look for in code, what departments are involved, what are they responsible for. I mean, at this point, we pretty much know if 100% if we're going to be able to operate or not. I think, and that's powerful. But obviously,
I feel like there could be more things that maybe are unknown to us, but we do know more than what we did before, and I think that's what's important. So I definitely, it's all just learning experience.
But you know what I was thinking about, bro? Because I think this is a new company, Beach e-biking. They operate in Redondo Beach.
The one running the ads?
Yeah. They operate in Redondo Beach, Hermosa, and Manhattan, and they just do drop off. They have a location in Redondo, but they just do drop off in Manhattan and Redondo. And I feel like that's how we can continue to operate if we keep our listing and we just do drop offs.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we also piss them off.
Well, that's how. So yeah, that 4th of July weekend, I got a big family for the weekend, and they gave up like $300, and I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah,
I'll drop it off, 300 easy.
Right. So I think that maybe that's something that, because I know right now we're on this wave of trying to figure out what to do next since Manhattan Beach didn't happen. And I was thinking about that. That's kind of like where my mind was going, because I think I told you that I was like, what if we just do delivery? And yeah, I don't know. That's just something to explore as well, because we have a really good Google listing. I feel like we can keep it open. And I even took a screenshot of this listing that says only by drop off. And I don't know. That's something that we can explore too.
Definitely explore that.
But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. We've been dealing with that for a good minute. With the city now trying.
Well, that was July 4th weekend. Now it's the 16th.
Yeah.
No,
the
14th. Today's the 13th, 14th.
Someday.
But that was like that was beginning of July. So now it's been like a couple of weeks, and we were just waiting for that last meeting last week. Well, 2 days ago.
Yeah. And going through this in the hottest months is definitely not easy.
It's not easy, but I will say, like, I was very relieved once they kind of made us go back into pause mode. I was so relieved, bro. Like, as I was saying, I was really pushing out there, So once that kind of cleared up, I was able to just focus again on myself and just recoup my energy levels, and then just make sure that, because also what was happening is that not only do we push ourselves, but then we end up pushing our employees as well, because now we're requiring more from our employees, and so
everyone starts to break down.
Everybody just starts to break down, because like we start making mistakes because we start doing new things. They start making mistakes because now they're new doing the things that we were doing, and so it's just like mistake after mistake, and it's just like they always say through growth there will be like pain and just fuck ups, and so yeah. We were going through that, which I understood that was a cost, but obviously felt really good just going back to the normal routine of the two shops and just that calmness in the mind and in the body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the reason why when I received the news, part of me also felt relieved.
Yeah.
Because, I just like to narrow my focus. I just know that.
Yeah, it's hard being in the
good.
middle where it's like, oh, are we going to be able to be out there or not? I'd rather just like, no.
Yeah.
Yes or no, and then be like, so that's what I was also like, all right, at least they said something now.
Yeah.
That's clear.
What's attracting now that Manhattan Beach didn't happen? What's attracting? Why, other than, you can talk about the Corvette if you want to, but
yeah.
What's attracting your energy right now, and what are you thinking about?
Right now, I think I'm just knowing that it's our hottest months and that the bank account is just
growing.
I'm kind of just like enjoying the moment. It's summer. It's summer, bro. And like, again, like it's summer, and I'm like excited to go on the vet right now and go to top down and just fucking, send it. I'm thinking about summer's not going to last forever, but I'm thinking let me enjoy summer. So that's definitely on the vibe that I'm on right now.
Yeah.
I've been working on having more balanced days in my life. So I had a very beautiful weekend on, I don't know if it was 4th of July. No, it was a post 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
Where like I went to RIBB to help, open up and all that. And then after that, I went to a friend's birthday at the beach, and we played spike ball. I got in the water. Right before I went to the beach, I went to go do a workout at Gold's. So it's like I worked, I took care of my health, I took care of my friendships and my relationships. I had fun. I got in the water, and then I went back to work. So just kind of been focusing more on living like a little bit of a balanced lifestyle right now, because I feel like I have that comfort of just the money, being there and just coming in. Like
Yeah.
I feel like a balanced lifestyle right now makes sense, where I'm just kind of enjoying myself, enjoying the moment. Again, summer. So that's what I've kind of been focusing on. But of course, like I said, I know summer's not going to last forever. So I am just kind of starting to think, especially with now the RIBB Manhattan not being a possibility, I am just kind of like, damn, we really got to think about what's our next move and this and that and how we're planning to go doing things. But right now, a lot of it's just like enjoying the moment.
What do you think it takes to, and I think, like you said, definitely having money coming in gives you some type of peace of mind, right? And thankfully, we've been able to hire the right people, and shops run on their own. And so definitely, having money coming in gives you the ability to find balance. But what else have you done to be able to, achieve that balance on your on an everyday basis?
Like, what type of answer?
Yeah, like any strategies, any,
like how I go about maybe structuring it.
Yeah, how you go about structuring a day, your a balanced day.
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, on the work side, what obviously helps a lot is just making sure that you have the right systems and people in place. Because obviously, if you don't, then you're gonna be needed in those situations, and then that will reduce the time that you're able to be anywhere else, right? So yeah, the fact that I'm able to, that we have the teams out there that we can trust, and that they'll do the work, and that the businesses are gonna be just as maybe not as best as you're gonna have it, but pretty close. And then other than that, I think I think it always comes down to really prioritizing, and making sure, because the opportunities are always there to do these things, to like maybe hang out with a friend, or go get a workout in, this and that. But I think it just kind of comes down to, prioritizing, and saying, I'm going to make the effort to go do that, and not just decide I'm just going to focus on this one thing. I'm just going to, I feel like some people decide I'm just going to focus on relationships, I'm just going to focus on work. I'm just going to focus on my fitness. And I mean, the thing is that, like, I'm not saying that it's really hard to live a balanced lifestyle, because you just can't balance it all, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just can't.
And unexpected things happen all the time.
Yeah, so it's really hard, and it also takes a lot of energy, because it's like to do a little bit of work, and then to give your friends energy, and then to give a loved one energy, and then to give your health energy. It all just does take. So
yeah.
But I also feel like it does fuel the mind and the soul more than just like narrowing down on one thing, like just focusing on fitness or just focusing on relationships. Like, when you get a little bit of everything, I feel like I've noticed that you just feel more full, you feel a little bit more fulfilled. But yeah, I would just say prioritizing.
I'm with you on the fact that it is hard to have a balanced. It's hard to have balanced days, because
it's hard.
You sometimes, the thing is that, and I don't know if you do this, I wanted to ask you, do you plan your days ahead of time? Like, are you consistent on that, or you just kind of have an idea of what you have to do?
Yeah, I think I definitely.
'Cause I think that's key.
Yeah.
In order to really have like a balanced day, or get your bed, you have to increase your success. What do you call it? Rate, like your likelihood that you'll succeed in, your task in any given day. And for me, dude, if I just don't have like a structure for my day, I'm going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
And people will pull me, activities will pull me.
Yeah.
I'll procrastinate, and I just won't have, a structure. But I also know that like if I don't, like if the day before I'm slacking, I get to wind down late, I'm not going to take the time to write out my day. So I think definitely planning, bro, is huge to be able to get those balance days. And just when, as you're going about your day, if unexpected things happen, you know, be able to weave in and out of your schedule. But ultimately for me to have those balance days, I do have to structure them.
Yeah, I think the reason why sometimes I hate the structure is just the confinement that you sometimes feel in. Of like, saying, I'm going to do this in 2 hours, right? And then it's like, for example, when I had those days, I was just like, well, you know how I am too. I'm very like feeling the moment. Yeah. If I'm like liking something, then, you know, I'm like, I'll push a little bit more if I'm getting the energy. If I don't, then I'll pull back, right? I think that's the only problem that when I've tried to making schedules and plans, it's just like I'm sometimes paying too much to the plan, you know? Right. And seeing like, okay, I got this. And then, sometimes, like, I'm sure you've noticed too, like, or at least for me, when I have my list and like sometimes if you don't include everything and you rely on that plan, then like, sometimes things, like if you miss something, then that'll go unnoticed, right? Yeah. Because it's like you rely so much on that. Like sometimes when I'm making my list, I won't include something and like it'll totally go out of my mind. But also that's not to say that when I don't have a list, not like I remember everything. So yeah, I don't know. It's just something that, one of the things, bro, that like I've been feeling recently that I felt not too long ago is that, you know how like boxing, you like one session, like right, boom, one session, you're that good, right? Then second session, your second session's good, right? And by fifth, with anything, right? Like over time you just get better, right? Yeah. But then there's life. And literally life, perfecting, like just life, like the amount of years that we're alive and just like understanding the whole dimension of it and like getting good at life. Yeah. It's like, it takes so much time. Right. But you do feel it. And like, I did feel it like in those balanced days, bro. I did feel it, but it's just
that you were getting better at life, like
in general? Just like handling the moments.
Yeah. And dude, honestly, I think the main skill, dude, is the ability to do critical thinking. I feel I've been experiencing that more recently because, you know, in all of my relationships, like work relationships specifically, people find value in me because I'm able to troubleshoot stuff. You know, that's where I feel like a lot of people come to me, like to troubleshoot stuff, especially with technology. And the thing is that every time I help people, I realize how they're not willing to do critical thinking. Right. Like, dude, instructions pop up right in front of your face, and like you're not willing to think about the instructions.
Yeah. But wait, what?
And you're not willing to read the instructions properly and carefully. For example, I had my friend Erica, right? Like I'm helping her with something about her like Facebook business manager, and she had trouble verifying her business. And dude, she was like, I don't know what I'm doing, like this and that. And I'm just like, okay, send me a screen of like the instructions. What is it saying? And it said that the address was not matching. And she kept like, she was not willing to like understand that Facebook was telling her there's an issue in the address. And she was coming up with all these scenarios. Oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Dude, I look at the address and the zip codes are not matched. They're not the same. Like one number is off. And I told her, Erica, if it's telling you the instructions that there's an issue with the address, believe it, you know, and like think about it. And
sometimes though that shit pisses me off though, because you be following shit to the T and it's not working though. Like I feel like this kind of just happened to me not too long ago. I'm trying to remember the specific issue. But I was just frustrated because I'm like, I'm literally doing what I need to do.
Yeah.
So there's like a little bit of trust issues there, but I feel what you're saying though, and I
And
do feel
then
like you have that quality.
And then with the critical thinking, it unlocks the understanding that and Ty Lopez says this a lot, right? But you have to be like a mad scientist, right? And understand that life, using all these concepts of like, okay, if this didn't work, you can cross it off, move on to the next possible solution, right? And use all these scientific concepts to get to where you want to go, right? And most people are just not able to think critically like that and take their days like, to get a balanced day.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to do? You have to test, okay, does it help me to write down my day the following day? No? Okay, let me try something else. Does it feel like it restricts me from being spontaneous and just having fun and flowing with it? Okay, this doesn't work with me. And dude, people just don't think about it deeply enough. And I think that's where most people lack that ability to become good at life.
Yeah. I think multiple things. One, I think people don't become... there's a lot of things. One, I feel like no one's there to help you.
Right.
I feel like that's one of the best ways, at least for me. Like, if I have someone kind of like showing me the way, and maybe that goes back to like the inability to be critical thinking, because if you can critically think, then maybe you don't need someone. You can just kind of figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
But definitely having someone to help you and just guide you through it, then it's just like, it just like rubs off on you, and then you just kind of learn more, right? And then another thing is like just being more diverse in the things that you do. Like, dude, like, because Alex is not here, I've been having to do more things at RIBB.
Yeah.
But like, since I've seen you guys do like certain things, like I see how I can do them.
Yeah.
Like I see how like I was just like, I always delegate them because like I was just like, I can delegate them.
Yeah.
But I'm doing these things and I'm like, fuck, I kind of know this, right? And through me understanding more of that, it allows me to transition those ideas and thoughts into other parts of life, like I remember when you started like doing more of the bike stuff, like you started like understanding that you can fix things, and so that helps you, and so the more like you do other things, the more it just helps you. And that goes back to what I was saying, life.
Yeah.
Like, life is so complex, and so the more that you get in touch with like so many parts of it, then the better you will become at it,
And that's another concept, that understanding that everything connects, right? In a way, you learn something, you're going to be able to apply it somewhere else. There was something that Alex Hormozi said that I really liked, that he said, there's two variables that will limit you as a business owner, but I guess you can say as a person, right? And it's the skills and it's the your mental blocks, right? And I do feel like, for example, in your case, I don't know, you get stuck in these boxes, and we've talked about it previously, but you get stuck in this box of, I'm not a hands-on person, right? Or like, I'm not a creative person, or I'm not a critical thinker, right? And you just like wire your brain like that for the rest of your life. And if you are able to recognize, okay, am I lacking the skills or am I having a mental block, right? You will unlock whatever is necessary to do what you need to do. And in, like, for example, in my case, right, I feel like I have a lot of skills, but I'm just like, I'm just afraid. And this is where the podcast helps. And I think that you and I came to this realization that we were like, oh, but like, do we really want to present ourselves as authority, or like people that know what we're doing and speak like knowledge and, just try to help other people. And for me, that was like always like a mental block of like, I probably should shut up. Like, I don't know much. Right. But I think recognizing that it's either you either need to level up your skills or find a way to remove those mental blocks will help you achieve whatever you want, basically.
And for those because like, how do you remove that mental block?
Dude, honestly, there's multiple ways, and it can be so deep that you need like therapy. But for me, it's just like that mental repetition, and I think I'm such a like disciplined person that I just need to say, okay, I'm gonna be disciplined about sharing more. I'm gonna be disciplined about doing the podcast, right? I'm going to not like really, and again, critically thinking in my brain, like, okay, what is this mental block? Where is it coming from? And do therapy on myself, right? In a way, to understand where this is coming from and why I have that mental block. And in short, just don't give a fuck,
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I think for me, it's like, maybe you have both sides here, but what Isaac's saying, but for me, it's like, I just try to pay the people that know that to teach me. Like, again, I would say, like, kind of what you were saying, like, I would say that I didn't know how to dance, like, I put myself in that situation, like, I'm just not a dancer,
Yeah.
And so then I paid for a course to learn how to dance, and then after that, I learned. One of the things that I really want to do, bro, and I think I might go next Thursday, but like, I really, and I told Sebas this before he left, but I really want to do a day at Beachside and just learn from Sebas, mainly Sebas, but I feel like I could probably like learn from the other guys too.
Dude, you can learn a lot from Aiden.
Aiden,
he's G.
And so that I'm like, I know if I go in there and with the willingness to learn, that I can learn it, So I feel like that's the other thing, that because you said it's a mental block or it's a skill, and for me, I think it's just like, it's a skill. Like, I'm always the idea of like, it's just that I don't have the practice. It's not that there's this mental block. It's that I don't have the practice. I don't have the knowledge. I'm missing something. I'm missing the skill. So, I go to get taught, like right now I'm trying to learn boxing, and I'm like, I can just pay someone to teach me how to box,
Right.
And not me, like try to work on it myself, just having someone help me. So I feel like that's part of it too. That could help people. It's just like, I don't know, bro. To me, like, that really is a cheat code. I think about how many people, even myself, but it's a money situation as well, which I understand. But I think about how like so many people, go to the gym and they do the same thing and again. And I'm like, you could literally hire a trainer for a year and, you would have so much knowledge on like workouts and positions and technique and everything.
Yeah.
Then going 5 years, you just doing the same thing at the gym. Maybe you learn a little bit, something else, a little bit here. Or you could just literally pay some dude. It doesn't even have to be a year, bro. Yeah. Literally, a month? You can pay someone a month, and you'd probably have so much more than you could ever have than you just doing it for 2 years by yourself.
Exactly. The only thing there too is that even hiring the right people is a skill, right? And it's gonna take time to find the right people, and obviously, it always comes down to, you need to level up and get some income like under your belt to be able to do that. But like, first is like, get with people that are trying to level up, right? Like, that's the main thing. Like, you and I could, to an extent, like, teach ourselves how to box, right? Like, we had a little session the other day, and dude, I'm like, if we do this like repeatedly, like, we'll get good, like, we won't be professionals and we won't know all the like little techniques and tricks, but we'll be at a decent level. And in a way, that also attracts the energy, of like someone who's above you and says, oh shit, like, I want to teach this
like
person,
that guy,
right? Like that guy that just
he keeps talking to me too.
Oh really?
Yeah. He's like, yo, you didn't bring your gloves this time? He told me this yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I want to get the headgear, bro.
Yeah. We could go there now. We could drive there. It's not that far.
I'll be down. But yeah, bro, I mean, I'm down to wrap it up. I really don't have much else. I think that
for me, like, one of the things that I'm focusing on like crazy, bro, is the fitness, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said that so many times, but I definitely like, it's definitely.
Well, I just feel like it's a lifestyle now. I just don't, you're focused on it, but it's just like what you do on a consistent basis.
Yeah. But now I'm like, Like more before, like when I was going to iron, it was more like, let me just get movement,
Right.
you know? Let me just get
It's that
movement.
Gold's Gym energy.
But yeah, now that, guys, I'm going to Gold's, dude,
The
like
Mecca.
the crazy, like the energy, guys, at Gold's Gym is just insane, bro. Like I don't know. It's just like this energy that was
Missing in your life.
um it's this energy that was placed there,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's just like is there now, you know? And like it's brought onto people, but like it just lives there now.
Yeah.
You know, like the Arnold, the everything, you know, seeing all the pictures and everything, it's just like I'm sure it's not what it used to be,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when like Arnold was there.
Right.
Like I'm sure it had like a peak, and maybe the peak is not there anymore.
Yeah.
But it like, again, because of that energy that was brought to by these guys,
Yeah.
it like still pulls
They
it.
left it there.
They left it there, and like anyone can just come in and
Yeah.
just like absorb it.
Yeah, bro.
So I'm definitely focusing on my fitness, bro. Like I am, I definitely get inspired by like seeing you, like how long you've been at it, and you know you're pretty fucking strong. And you've always told me this from the beginning, but like my body physique, like, you know, my height and
Yeah.
you know my limbs and everything,
Yeah,
like
you have the perfect ratio.
I have a pretty good body, so I'm just like, fuck, like I can really fucking like get my shit together and look
Yeah.
pretty fucking beast mode. And I am feeling like that.
It's hard to see.
Sorry guys, there's like Isaac put the little
Like a monitor?
like a monitor here, so I was looking here all the time, guys. I'm so sorry. The whole
Yeah, I
fucking,
saw that you were trying to look at the camera and you looked that way.
yeah, the whole fucking time I was looking here, so I apologize for that. But yeah, fitness is one of my main focus, going back to the energy right now. And then yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Dude, to wrap it up, I'll just say, dude, what I've been focusing on so hard right now, dude, is really, I want to get really good at building and scaling online businesses, dude. Like, I think that, you know, I feel very inspired by AI and the things that you can do, like the automation. I'm good with systems. I'm good with tech. I really enjoy it. And what I've been unlocking recently is just finding the right people to help me unlock those things. And that's why I really like talking to Agustin, Luis, because they know so much. And then I found this guy that can help me. He knows how to code and bridge applications and automate a lot of the processes that we're doing for our businesses. And dude, I've come to the realization that, dude, when I see, for example, like, you know, Elon Musk Twitter just started to pay creators, and seeing these people, bro, get paychecks of like, you know, they were sharing their stats, right? Like 20,000, 30,000. I'm like,
You saw that high?
yeah,
the highest
bro.
I saw was 10.
Yeah, 20,000, 30,000, bro. I'm like, bro, it's because the internet, bro. I have to milk it one way or another, dude.
I mean, we talked about. I mean, I feel like I had just told you this. Like, I feel like, you know.
Well, I was like, you know, I've been on that wave of like creating the online program since we bought it. And my mind has been on that, dude, just crafting that, thinking about it. And I don't know if you saw the video I sent you.
I haven't.
But yeah, I'm starting to collect like people to join the wait list. That's another story. But yeah, bro, my mind right now is on how do I get really good at building online businesses and scaling them.
And the wait list for the mechanics, right?
Yeah, for the program.
And that's why I also want to go out there, because I was like, oh, if I understand this, then I'll understand, you know, the program a lot more.
Right.
So yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is the
keep looking here.
No, yeah, I've been looking that way too. Thanks for tuning in. And unfortunately we got shut down, but we'll keep going. That's life. You keep living, you fail, you learn, and then you go back to the whiteboard and try again. The important thing is that obviously you never give up. Like Max, he's failed his fitness career multiple times, injuries, stomach, but he's never given up. So that's what I'm saying. That's the
right.
thing.
And honestly, that's like, to me, and I think I told you this, I feel like that's one of my strengths, that like I just won't give up. Like, I may suck at it for a very long time, but I'll never throw in the fucking towel.
Yeah.
Peace out, guys.
See ya.